Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR Heat 5 career mode here on the channel. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we have Cup Series action only on track, and that's at Kansas Speedway for the Digital Ally 400. Coming in, off of some ups and downs of the season, including our first win recently, but this weekend we actually had a meeting with Joe Gibbs. Take a listen on how that went.
I really just want to know what your interest level is when it comes to racing for me next year.
High. Very high.
How much time is left on your current contract?
I only signed a one-year extension, so I'm out of it after this year.
Okay, awesome. Let's stay in touch. I will send some offers in the coming weeks.
And there you hear our brief, meeting with Joe Gibbs now as we roll into this Kansas weekend. Colleague has no idea this is happening. We got some new paint schemes coming into the career mode. Hendrick Motorsports has a whole overhaul. You can see the 9, which that one's the same, but the 5, the 48, the 24, they've all got some new paint schemes that you're going to see. Not all today, but as the races go on as well. Joey Logano, Tyler Reddick have got a few schemes as well. Big shout out to Tinsley for putting those together. He absolutely made some banger paint schemes for us to use here now. So you'll see those as the season goes on now. As we come through Kansas practice, though, car was feeling pretty good. I was running the top, but I quickly noticed the 17 car of Chris Buescher had quite a bit of speed, so definitely gotta watch out for him here today. But there was our laps. Actually, our fourth and final lap of practice ended up being the quickest. Dunkin' Donuts on the car, by the way, today. Cachinero whipped this one up. Looks absolutely marvelous now as we roll into qualifying from Kansas here for our one lap. 31:099 the goal as we head down into one. And yeah, I mean, you're gonna see me all episode long running between that seam right there on the left and that wall on the right. We're gonna get up as close as we can, especially in the race, to try and find a little bit more momentum, but we don't want to get too close like this. In qualifying, we do it. We hit the wall in the middle of 3, and that's gonna cost us a solid effort. We're still gonna get something decent. We're gonna cross the stripe here, just barely miss out on the goal by a couple of tenths and still go P18, so I was pretty happy with that, to be honest, here in this Digital Ally 400 now. As you see the rest of the order, I've changed the part-time cars, most of them, to now have a part-time number icon to make it a little bit more simplistic. I do have to change a few more, but Ryan Truex in the field for Legacy Motor Club in the 44 car here today. Shane Van Gisbergen in the 12th position. As you can see, the top 5, which is Chris Buescher on pole, Chase Elliott up there as well on the front row. Let's get ready to go racing Sunday evening in Kansas.
Welcome, race fans, to Kansas Speedway. We've got an exciting night of racing on the way, as the 1.5-mile tracks have been nothing but excitement this year.
This is such a great racetrack, Mike. Obviously, I'm biased as it's my home track, but I truly believe it produces some great multi-groove racing. We'll see a lot of it tonight.
Clint might be biased, but he is right. This track allows you to really go anywhere you want and make time with it. Expect to see a few guys ripping the wall, but the bottom is going to work too.
All right, bud, it's been a good year so far. Keep it up, and I bet there's a contract extension coming.
Yeah, 100%. Let's have a good night, guys. He doesn't know, nobody knows, as we're getting ready to roll here for the Digital Ally 400 here with Chris Buescher, Chase Elliott set to lead the field to the green flag. Chase Briscoe having a strong weekend. Look for him to be in the top 35. I still haven't changed BJ McLeod's car to a Chevy. I still got to do that. And there you see your pole winner, that fast and all machine. One-time winner this season from Bristol, Chris Buescher. Now there you see Larson's new car on track right there. Ryan Truex in the field for Legacy Motor Club this weekend as well, as we get ready to roll here from Kansas. The green flag is out from the 18th starting position. Logano on the inside in that Verizon Ford Mustang. Cup Series part-time rookie Austin Hill and the number 33 just behind myself on the rundown in a turn 1 RCR. Of course, has been putting him in for a few races this season, trying to get him a stretch of races going to get him a bit more comfortable for Cup Series competition as they look to maybe expand to a third full-time car going into season number 3 of this career mode. Expect to see some silly season, early silly season rumors start to pick up now. We've already, of course, got the Truex news out of the way that he is retiring. We know that we are a prime candidate to replace him for that seat next season as well. As you can see, Chase Briscoe all the way up here towards the top 15, just about, but we're passing him on the outside as we continue to just rip this top lane here and make some headway. Christopher Bell currently out in front. I'm going to slide in between the 34 and the wall. That was a really tight gap to aim for. There were 4 wide briefly right there, but we make it work right to the back of the 48 of Alex Bowman. Will go around the outside of that Ally Financial Chevrolet as well. Kyle Larson, we were 3 wide with him in the 48 down the back straightaway, but Briscoe actually, holding his own here. He got back in front of me and was continuing to fight, and now I'm going to go to the inside of that 14. This would be our first potential pass on the inside, and it would happen right here, turn 1, lap 4 of 19 in this stage. Now, if stage 1 goes green, it's going to be very, very close on a feel, but I believe we will make it. The main, question is, will the tires make it? Tire wear is usually quite high when it comes to Kansas Speedway, but yeah, continuing to make the outside work. I mean, overall, it's been 5 complete laps, and we've only gained now 2 spots. I just passed the 45 of Tyler Reddick on the outside, so, not a great net gain so far, but it felt like I was passing a lot of cars, and look at this. The 9 of Elliott dropping like a rock here early on after starting second. That's a bit unusual from a already 4-time winner this season. He's been unbelievable this season in that number 9, as now myself and him and Bubba Wallace are going to be 3 wide on the exit of turn 2, but we'll clear them both for P14. So we're moving up here in these closing laps in stage number 1. Ty Gibbs right there in front of us. We would run him down with 10 to go in this stage, and up ahead you can see Truex, Larson, and the pole winner of Chris Buescher. So both the drivers that started on the front row look like, after only a 19-lap stage, might not even get stage points, which would be quite surprising now as we continue with this battle on Ty Gibbs. Now we jump up to the outside. He would actually pass Buescher, so Buescher down to 13th, and now I'm looking to the outside of the Fast and All Ford Mustang. Trimmed out in quality, but certainly not doing a good job with their race pace. But look who's leading at this point now. Shane Van Gisbergen out in front. He's continued to get experience in oval racing from Trucks Xfinity Cup Series. He's been struggling quite heavily on the short tracks, but he's starting to get him down a little bit more in the lower series. And here he is now today, leading laps after starting just outside the top 10. So that 91, that Project 91 car looking very strong here tonight in Kansas. The battle with Gibbs continues now as we wonder, are we going to be future teammates with Ty Gibbs if we could go and, take over that 19 car for next season? But we cleared the 54 for P12 and now try to run down his teammate of Truex and Brad Keselowski, as well as Kyle Larson. Side by side right there in front of us, the 19 on the top, the 6 on the bottom. They merge together door to door down the SPAC straightaway, and here I go with a run 3 wide up the inside, coming to 3 to go in the stage. Byron now out in front. He's battling with the 20 and the 91 right now for the stage 1. You can see the inside at this point really just not working for me. So now we come through to just approaching now 2 laps to go up the inside of the 19. Now to turn 4. Now 3 wide in the middle. Going at it again with these 2. Of course, veterans of the sports season. Veterans, that's for sure. As you can see, 2 to go. Tire light comes on, so we will at least be able to hang on to the end. SVG retook the lead from the 24 of William Byron now as we go down the backstretch, but Byron would briefly get it back until SVG would take it back again into turn 3. So SVG will lead at the white flag in stage 1. He's about to pick up an oval stage victory. We're 3 wide on the outside, a lot of 3 wide with the 19 and the 6 here in these last few laps of the stage. White flag for stage 1 in the air. Stage points, it's right there. It's the 6 cars, that Castrol Edge black, red, green machine, a beautiful paint scheme. That 6 car has one of the best looking cars of the season now as we continue into the outside wall, actually on the exit of turn 2. The field light comes on now as we go into turn 3, but it's Shane Van Gisbergen exiting turn 4. He is going to come through to pick up the stage victory. William Byron's pitting right at the end, and the caution's actually going to come out on the final lap of the stage. But William Byron, he's not the reason for the caution. He was coming in because for whatever reason he didn't think he was going to make it on field, even though the finish line was, a few hundred feet away, it felt like. So unfortunate there, but the 24 still remains P6 because of the good timing of the caution. We're going to make some very minor adjustments here now, as you can see on mainly the tire pressures and wedge as usual, going up a little bit on the grow tape to 40% and get ready to roll for the second stage here in Kansas. So we went from 18th, slowly moved our way forward, and was able to get up to P12 by the end of the stage. We gained 1 spot on the pit lane as well. We were able to overtake that 6 of Brad Keselowski. Now lining up behind the number 12 Wabash Ford Mustang of Ryan Blaney, your 2023 IRL, of course, Cup Series champion, currently winless in Season 2 of the NASCAR Heat 5. Career mode, a stack up there from the 5. It looks like he got held up behind the 43 of Eric Jones. Joey Logano to the lead of this race after the Stage 1 winner. SVG did not win the race out of the pit lane, got P2 there. Now he's headed backwards down this back straightaway in towards turn 3. A lot of Toyota presence around us there. You got, of course, the 43 for Legacy Motor Club. You got the 11 of Hamlin for Joe Gibbs Racing, as well as the 20 Truex there, a little bit behind us as well by a few car lengths. Some really good racing. You know, Kansas is a great track for when it comes to multi-groove racing, just like Homestead Miami, probably the 2 best tracks, you know, for that multi-groove type racing. But I struggle on the inside. Unlike Miami, where I feel like I can go anywhere in Miami and kind of figure it out and make it work. You know, I can run the wall in Miami and do okay. I can run the bottom and do all right, even the middle if I need to. Kansas is more of, I need to be the middle to the top. The inside, I'm just not going to be able to do anything. But sometimes, you know, you get trapped down here when you exit on an inside lane out of the pit lane and get ready for the restart. Shane Van Gisbergen, though, back to the lead, and now we're starting to wonder if that 91 car is going to be the favorite to win tonight. How big of a story would that be if the V8 supercar, of course, veteran and legend, comes over to the NASCAR Cup Series last season in the career mode, picked up a win on the road course in his second start it was, and now here he is, you know, shifting into a focus on full-time Cup Series competition going into next season, but running a lot more races this season. He might pick up an oval win. That would be absolutely huge now as we continue to run P11 with 13 to go in stage number 2 as we come through to 12 laps to go now, and you can see, just surveying there, I did hit the wall, making sure I didn't damage the right side, but the caution is going to come out a few moments after this here now, and we're not going to pit because we can make it to the end of the stage. And look at this, Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson both are going to elect to pit here for tires and fuel. Bell, SVG, Logano, Byron, Chastain currently our top 5 as we're going to get ready to go back racing here. But we'll get ready and see what we can do. Our teammate of Allmendinger as well appears to be coming into the pit lane, and now it's time to go green for the restart with less than 10 laps to go here in stage number 2. On the inside again, not where we want to be. You got Blaney, but Jones, Truex up here as well in the mix again. That 19's been slowly moving forward a little bit further and further, you know, every little bit here. So definitely got to keep an eye on Truex, who's still seeking win number 1 on the season. Of course, Kyle Larson, another big name that's still looking for that first win of the season. William Byron as well in the 24. He's running up there in the mix. Christopher Bell in the 20. Joey Logano. There's a lot of names up here that have not won yet this season. And on our outside, of course, Ryan Blaney. Actually, there's only 2 drivers, or no, there's only 1 driver in the top about 8 with a win. Or actually, top 7, because I do have a win, but it's Chastain, the only other one. He's got 2 wins, of course, now on the season, as he was able to pick up a win again last episode there. Ryan Blaney gets clear. All the Penske cars currently in the top 10, even Austin Cindric in the top 10. That's a statement right there and a half. But you can see Logano still out in front with 5 to go on the stage, but he was battling it out with the 24 of Byron as I tagged the outside wall on the exit at 2. But really, at this point, it just turned into holding on and seeing what I can do. Can we run down the 12 and the 43 with the time we have left? The answer was yes. Right to the back of this 12 machine, and I was actually looking to get to his outside right there. It didn't quite work. Then I peeked to the inside. Jones kind of cut him off right there. Blaney, I'm sure, not going to be happy with that. He's probably flipping him off right now as we dive down into turn 1. We'll clear the 12, get an extra point from him. P8. Can we get P7 before the end of the stage? White flag in the air for stage 2. Chastain now to the lead. SVG's right behind him, though, in second place as the 22, 20, and 24, they've fallen down to 3rd through 5th. And Truex right at the back of that battle. We're going to have a huge run down the back straightaway on the 43 with that outside momentum. We'll look to the inside, down the back into turn 3. Chastain leaves the door open for the 91 of SVG as we exit turn 4, pushing the 43 up the track. Shane Van Gisbergen's going to sweep the first 2 stages. It's a drag race to the line for the point for 7th. We get it over the 43 of Eric Jones, so we'll gladly take that. But Shane Van Gisbergen I mean, that was a statement right there. You know, he is showing up when it matters. The stage win on the line. He got there at the end and was able to pick up the green-white checkered. Is he going to be able to do that in the overall finish of this race? More adjustments, just freeing up the car a lot because it was pretty tight. The drivers that pitted under the last yellow, well, they have to pit again, so Hamlin and Larson, they're like 20th and 25th, so not really worth it. And like I said, they have to pit again, so they don't really gain anything. Hocevar, out of the race right now, 10 laps down. He was that caution in stage 2. We're back underway, though, for stage 3. It's been a relatively calm, more focused on just downright good racing kind of Kansas race here today. And you never really know what you're going to get when it comes to the mile and a halves in NASCAR Heat 5. Sometimes you get a caution fest, and then sometimes you get, a race like this where we are getting some nice green flag runs here so far up the inside of the 24 and the exit of turn 2, trying to side draft and pull him backwards down this back straightaway, but now I'm trying to get in behind him. I don't want to be on the inside, so I was actually letting off the gas down the straightaway saying go and clear me. I was trying to pull off his quarter panel so I wasn't side drafting him. Ty Gibbs is back. He had dropped down the order in stage 1. Stage 2 they worked on the car. Looks like they've got it to where it needs to be now. Up to P7 goes that 54 of Ty Gibbs. But only 23 laps to go. Chastain out in front of the 22, 91, and the 20 and the 24. Byron there, your top 5. But here we are having a, race best running P6 currently. Couldn't really ask for much more than this. Kansas is a difficult track when it comes to racing against the AI. They are very competitive here now. But Chastain, he ended up losing the lead to the 22 of Joey Logano. And you can see that I was starting to struggle just a little bit to keep contact with these cars in front. SVG drops to 5th, drops down to the inside. Chastain went back to the lead over Logano, brings Byron through into 2nd place, but I just couldn't stick with those top 5, and you can see it. And I was already starting to now on lap 50 drift backwards to the pack of cars behind that's led by Ty Gibbs. So I'm losing contact to the front, getting closer to the cars behind. Obviously, not what you want to be doing in a motorsport race. So we're looking at some alternative strategy ideas, and basically the idea was with about 8 laps of fuel left in the car, we're going to take a gamble with how long of the green flag runs we've been getting today, and we're going to pit for 2 tires and just pit significantly earlier than everybody. 13 laps to go in this race, so we were about to be in position to come in and try this alternative strategy call, and it was going to be right here, 8 laps of fuel left in the car. So we're going to come in 6-7 laps earlier than everybody else. We're going to get down to the inside, just trying something, because I was a pretty big believer that stage 3 was going to go green, if not to the end, or at least maybe to the end of the pit run. So it's going to be 1 can of fuel, 2 tires, that's it. And we're going to come in and take those right side tires off, put some right sides on. We've been having a good race today, running inside the top 10. There's not really a need to, throw it away by pitting early, but we have a win in Martinsville, so we are in a position where we can take a risk like this, and we're not going to be hurt if a caution comes out and we get screwed over and get trapped a lap down. But let's hope that it stays green for this whole green flag run. So we would cycle out into traffic here, and we're going to jump up to that outside and just start making some headway here to the outside of my former teammate of Justin Haley. Having a decent run, by the way, 24th for a Rick Ware car. Pretty impressive what Haley is doing in that 51. But you can see we were slicing, dicing, and just moving forward. Austin Hill on the outside. There's my teammate of Allmendinger, P21. Elliott's just having a rough night. Started P2, and he's outside of the top 20, or actually inside right now, P19. But green flag pit stops now. We're about to kick off for everybody else after, of course, we did our set of green flag stops. So getting ready to see where everybody's going to cycle out. How much time were we able to gain compared to the cars in front of us? That's the real question. We're about to find that out here now, as over the course of the next lap, just ripping that top, gaining every last little bit of time I could before they come out of the pit lane. And here's the results. We're going to go around the outside of the 17 and the 5. That's no different, but there you see those are the cars right there. Chastain, as well as Logano and them, Byron. They're right there in front of us. We're a lot closer because we are going to probably be door to door with the 1. Yes, we will. Into turn 3, side by side with Chastain. Shane Van Gisbergen, he's third up there in the running at least right now, but we still have a couple more cars to come out here on the exit of turn 4. The 20 of Christopher Bell, the last one of that group to pit, and there he is on the left side. You can see him, he's just now exiting. You have to wonder, did he take 4 tires, because he is way behind and out of the equation. Byron to the lead over Logano and SVG in these closing laps here in Kansas. Just 3 laps to go. SVG putting some pressure on Logano for second, and the caution's gonna fly, and I think it's for the 43 of Eric Jones now, as that's going to bring us some overtime here in Kansas. And we have seen a very common trend when it comes to overtimes this season. The leader going in overtime does not win the race. Can William Byron change that and get to victory lane for the first time this season? Or will Shane Van Gisbergen get the elbows out here and try to get his first oval win now as we get back underway from Kansas Speedway now? P5 is where we run row number 3. Unfortunately, still proven to be not as fast as these cars in front of us. Larson's rebounded tremendously tonight into P6 as we dive down into turn 1. Byron clear of Logano. Shane Van Gisbergen right there, ready for the taking as we exit turn 2 and head down this back straightaway. No matter what happens at this point, what a run for the 91 of SVG here on the oval, the mile-and-a-half oval of Kansas now, as he continues to learn and get better at these and really proves that he should be full-time at some point now, side by side with Logano coming to the white flag, which is now officially in the air in Kansas. 1 lap for William Byron to get his first win of the year as we dive down into turn 1. The tire light comes on. Byron leaves the door open for SVG. Shane Van Gisbergen up the inside. We're sliding up the track. Here comes Denny Hamlin on the exit of turn 2, and we're split 3 wide, side by side for the win into turn 3. Bell to my outside on 4 tires. He is flying, but I think Shane Van Gisbergen might do it. SVG out of turn 4. Yes, he is. Bell is moving up to 3rd. What a run, but Shane Van Gisbergen will win his first ever oval race in the NASCAR Cup Series. Unbelievable there, and that will not change the playoff situation. Fortunately, it will look like that in the game, but I can confirm it will be sorted. And if you're Daniel Suarez, you're concerned about your ride right now. Chastain's won multiple races. The guy that's part-time on your team's won a race now, and you have not, as you can see the rest of the finishing order. Christopher Bell was going to win that race if we had, 3-4 extra laps, I think. I mean, he was flying on those 4 tires right there that he took on that last pit stop. Here's the standings, though. This is actually the full-blown, regular season standings where everyone truly stacks up. So the playoff grid will look a little bit awkward because it will show SVG's name in the playoffs right now. But like I said, that will be sorted. So actually McDowell, who it says needs points, he's actually the last one in, 31 above the cut line. It will be sorted. Don't you worry. Next episode, it's a throwback in Darlington. A good night for us in Kansas. A nice top 10. We'll take it. I'll see you guys next time from Darlington. Have a great day, everybody.